Hey everybody, you're watching and listening to the We Are Rising podcast. This is Andrew Benjamin. I'm joined by a surprise guest today. It was supposed to be somebody else, but Mike answered the call. Mike from Ohio, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good. How about you, Andrew?
Okay. I don't want to relate to the audience how I'm feeling after dinner or what I just had. Don't want to gross them out, but yeah, doing
You
okay.
told me about it. It sounds like an adventure.
Yes, an unfortunate adventure. But but before we get into the start, I'd just like to announce we actually have our first sponsor for the podcast, Shroom Bar, which you can get at shroombar.com. Use code WAR at checkout for 25%, well, only 1% off your first order. And there's a great protein bar. And it's got a bunch of good stuff in it that I have. One of the things I've used when I was actually preparing for my MMA fight, which is turkey tail, which boosts your immune system. And it's also got lion's mane, which increases focus memory, and cordyceps.
The mushroom?
No, mushroom adaptogens, not the psychedelics. So you're not gonna be getting all weirded out. Like I said, cordyceps, which increase blood flow, and reishi, which decreases stress. And they have 12 grams of protein. So if you are a fighter or you work out or just need a healthy snack, I cannot recommend Shroom Bar enough. They're good people. They got good ingredients. None of the nasty crap that they put in a lot of other bars. I cannot say that they're good. They're good. They're really, really good. And if you use the checkout code WAR, you'll save 25% and you'll support the podcast. So again, go to eatshroombar.com, WAR, check out, 25% off your first order. Appreciate everybody. So before we get into everything, Falling Star, always here and always great to have you, man. Happy New Year, by the way. I don't know if I said that. I don't know if you're on the review show, Falling Star, but if you weren't, Happy New Year, right? I'm very happy that Ren is available for the Dome. It forces Ryzen to use another fighter that have lower star power or raise profile, so Ryzen isn't overly reliant on Mikuru and Ren. Thoughts on that, Mike?
He's right. There's good and bad with it. But yeah, they do need to find someone who they can build, at least for an opponent for Mikuru that's worthy, that feels like a huge deal at the Tokyo Dome. I know you did a little preview.
Well, keep in mind, he's no longer the main event as far as we know.
Right, there's not as much pressure, I would say, but still, you got to find someone who's a name and that can drive interest. Yeah, man. I think, and Saito to me, I think Chihiro Suzuki's way too dangerous and he crushed Mikuru at this point.
Well, also don't forget Yaman has that fight at the end of this month, actually.
Trinidad.
Yes, and Trinidad. Listen, that's not going to be an easy fight for him. So who knows?
No.
Unless he gets a knockout in 10 seconds,
Yeah.
I can't see him being ready for that.
But Mikuru is going to be key to selling that Dome show because as great as Kleber versus Shaduliev is, that's not selling out the Tokyo Dome.
As what is it called? Tony Khan calls them the sickos. So it'll sell tickets for the sickos.
Yeah, but that's not gonna be enough to fill the dome, sadly.
Oh, I know.
And I was also gonna say, even if you have like a Grand Prix or something like that, it's still not gonna generate enough interest.
I'm not talking Grand Prix until they actually announce it. I feel like that flyweight Grand Prix has been talked about for it has to be since pre-pandemic.
Right. I'm just saying, I think Sakakibara in his interview mentioned something about a Grand Prix starting at that show, heavyweight or something along those lines. I mean, that's all good and well, but it still won't draw enough to sell out the Dome. They need a viable opponent for Mikuru. And this does go back to, as Falling Star was saying, about the over-reliance on Mikuru and Ren for big shows.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see. They'll probably be hopefully making an announcement hopefully soon over, who will be the new opponent. So hopefully it'll be somebody and we won't go, shucks, really?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Saito would just be the easiest. Just
Well,
credible, but
he'll have to pull
safe.
himself from his ramen shop.
Right. I mean, it'd be safe. It'd be interesting because it'd be a rubber match, and he's a name. So I mean, you got to match Mikuru carefully, obviously, at this point.
Yes, and I think neither of them watch the video, but basically, I think neither of them will get hurt. I don't think that they're not at their athletic peak anymore. Certainly, Saito isn't, and I think Mikuru is maybe a little bit more better than him. So it's a safe fight for both of them, and it's a gold ring. Kind of a gold watch for both of them.
Yeah, he basically made Mikuru as a special attraction at this point.
Yeah. So we're here. We're here to talk. No, we're not here to talk RIZIN. We're here to talk Snow White 2025. No, just kidding. We're talking RIZIN. We're not talking about that crappy movie. So RIZIN 50, first show of the year. New market, new arena, new place. Kagawa, Shikoku Island, near Tokushima. And Anabuki Arena holds 10,000. King Seo told us that they sold that no tickets are available to buy, at least I think on E+, but they might have they might expand sales as it gets closer. Who knows? But on paper, thoughts, Mike. What do you think about this show?
I think it's a really solid card, especially the top couple fights. Those two are worthy of headlining the number show. Inoue Motoya for the Bantamweight title, and then Chihiro Suzuki against Dautbek. Those are two phenomenal fights. So for a newer market, this is something that you need to be doing to make a good impression. And clearly there's interest to sell that many tickets in a new for a new venue.
Yeah, listen, they probably got a nice deal because it's new venue. I don't know if it's like, new venue, you get a nice little 50% off renting the arena or something. I don't know. I'm curious to see how this arena looks on camera. That's always interesting how they lay it out and all that. I'm curious to see what it looks like. I wish one day they would do the was it KBS Hall? The one with the religious. Didn't they do that once?
They might have. I don't know, but I know the venue you're talking about.
That has it looks like it's in a church. It's like that's the best venue of all time. Like, I don't think there's any more beautiful venue than that.
I would have still thought Korakuen, but that's just me.
Yeah, well, listen, there's nothing more depressing than when you watch a Korakuen show and see empty orange seats. That's why I don't like it, because when you see lots of orange seats, you see them. You see them. You can't hide them. You cannot hide them under any lights.
No, you can't.
Thank you for reminding me. Just want to say, everybody, check out the Deep Show this past weekend. Great show, only 3 hours, flew by. They started the Featherweight Grand Prix, and they undercard as well. Other than the Kirizume fight, everything was good to great. Bunch of the fights are available for free already that they've uploaded. I think they've uploaded the main event and the 3 Grand Prix fights, because one of them got canceled because one fighters got sick at the weigh-ins, and then Kenta Takezawa and Hitowoka's fight. So please check that out. If you're not subscribed to Deep, please subscribe to them. But I think you said it best, Mike. This is strong for a smaller area.
Yes.
And especially for a first show of the year, it's definitely they packed a lot of fights. I'm not so sure if they all should be on this card, but they packed a lot. So if you're like J Wolf, and the more the better, then you gotta be like a pig in crap right now, I think.
And it's also some new younger fighters as well that we've never seen, which is
good,
very welcome.
Yes, which we absolutely love. We love this
and need.
Falling Stars, interesting question. Who do we think will win between Takaru and Ratan this weekend? Interesting. What do you think?
I was going to say, I know this isn't the question, but in general, that's a very strong card, that one show at Saitama.
Yeah.
I'm curious about the ticket sales for that. Haven't really looked. But,
let's not ask about that, because we might be here forever disseminating what actually has been sold and what's not been sold and which has been comped.
You would think Takeru would be able to draw money, but who knows? at this point in his career. But
yeah.
I'm gonna go with Rodtang by late round stoppage. I just think his pressure will be too much for Takeru, and Takeru gets hit too much. But you can say the same for Rodtang.
So my thoughts on this fighter is I am so like, this fight should have happened when it was announced. It should have been Takeru's first fight. He lost a fight against Super Glek, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then
it was Super Glek low kicked him to hell.
And then he had the fight with the Cambodian guy. And was it Cambodian?
Yeah, where he got dropped and then won.
Yeah. And like I gotta say, the Takeru experiment in one has been a failure. This feels like you know how remember when Undertaker lost the streak to Brock, and then he still had like 2 or 3 more matches at Mania after. It feels like
lost to Roman Reigns at one of them too, as I remember.
Yeah, it just feels. I'm not feeling the hype behind this like I did the first one.
I can see that, but it's a really fun fight. If Takeru, I will say this: Takeru is a much better athlete. Rodtang is very slow. That's one thing I will say.
I like when Takeru wins, but I just don't think he's looked good. I just say look good, but he's not looked. Yeah,
he's past his prime.
I also think I know this is going to sound really weird, but I also think losing the tension really did something to him. I think I think mentally, and
it was the pinnacle. It was the pinnacle of his career, and he failed in his biggest moment.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's just look how divergent their careers are right now.
Yeah, I mean, although to be fair, tension going to Takeru's boxing was never on that level, like tensions, and to a lesser extent, Yoshiki Takei's was.
Now, Kobe Day, Takeru always takes damage. Superclick is better than Rodtang. Superclick is better than Rodtang, but I think I'm going to pick Rodtang as well to beat Takeru.
Harder puncher.
Yes, based on that, and the thing is that. Rodtang doesn't get dropped. I can't remember the last time he's gotten dropped.
but he does get hit a lot, and Takeru still has the power and the combination punching to make it interesting. If Rodtang doesn't commit to even a little defense, I will say I'm looking forward to seeing Yoshinari Nadaka here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Me too. But wait, listen. If Rodtang doesn't make weight, just consider my opinion invalid because.
Yeah,
this is a cursed fight.
And also, but them getting Kaito was also a surprise.
Oh, they got all the best guys. They got all the best guys.
Yeah,
I mean,
money talks.
Well, hopefully they get paid. So we're gonna start off with what everybody loves to talk about is the prelims. The prelims of nobody. I shouldn't say nobody. That's but of lesser names. So let's separate the kickboxing stuff from the one MMA stuff. So for kickboxing, we have Ryoya Inoue taking on Rinto Kako, Ryuki taking on Toki Kagawa, who is from Kagawa, by the way. Ryuki Yoshioka taking on Daiki Kirizume, and Shoji Otani taking on Yamato Ashikaga. So the help of I almost exited out of our stream. So I'll get up some things for these guys in case however people want to see it. So Mike, I'll just ask, any thoughts on the 4 kickboxing matches that they've announced?
I know there's a few good young fighters. I think one is a deep champion. Other than that, if I'm being honest.
So
it's a cheap way to try and sell some tickets. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm. So at first I was like, one of these guys I thought was on the K1 show, the K1 Max show, but he was, and he lost. Ryuki. There was apparently also another Ryuki on that show as well. So there's
Ryuki. So many of them I can't keep track of them.
Okay, we have a Ryuki Yoshioka, so we got 2 Ryukis on a RIZIN show. Right now, the best thing I could tell people is the 2 people who I would 3 people, that I would pay 4 people I would pay most attention to are Shoji Otani.
Fought in RIZIN before, and he's a knockout veteran.
And he also fought last month. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and it's making quick turnarounds for this fight. Daiki Kirizume, I think, is an interesting guy to take a look at because he's fought in the Rise World Series and Resistance, not the biggest promotions, but it's interesting. The guy he's taking on, Ryuki Yoshioka, is really tall for a bantamweight. He's got to be maybe, I'm guessing, 5'10", maybe. Oh,
Wow.
5'9". Sorry, 5'9". Sorry, young and very tall for his weight class. By the way, Deep Kick, the best promotion that nobody watches. Just go back to the thing. We got Ryuki Toki Kagawa. I don't know. Both these guys are kind of like. I think these two are the absolute journeymen of journeymen. Journeyman is I shouldn't even
Journeyman. Yeah.
Okay.
Or
really?
war horse, as they say in boxing. I don't know why.
Yeah. By the way, sorry, I got my notes mixed up here. Rito Kako is the one that's 5'11", taking on Ryo Inoue, who I think this will probably be the best kickboxing thing out of match out of all of them. He's from Target Shibuya, which, as we all know, is Yaman's.
Yaman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at all that, he knocks out people. He knocked out Shingeki no Yuki, Attack on Yuki, who I've interviewed before. So
he who fought in Rizin a couple years ago.
Yep. And he only has one loss to Ryoto Nakano, who is.
Oh, yeah. I think Nakano fought in Rizin a few times too. Did he not?
Yes, he did. So I think that's the one that you guys should be paying attention. That the audience should be paying attention to most is that Rinto Kako taking on Ryoya Inoue. Do you want to give any picks, Mike? For the
Not really.
Okay. So for the also Daiki Kirizume because he's also undefeated. Kickboxing.
I believe he's a deep. Isn't he the deep champion I mentioned?
No, it's somebody else.
It's someone else. Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know if these records are accurate because kickboxing records are very weird. They're not.
They are.
Best.
They are. And I mean, Rizin does a pretty decent job of giving good records, but there's times where they're way off as well.
Yeah. Okay, so we do have one prelim deep rules. I'm calling it MMA match. Hiroki Takaoka taking on Seiya Ameyama, and we could not have two more polar opposite flyweight fighters. Just look at Takaoka's record. Look at that. Look at all the beautiful decisions. Look at all the, and I watch his fights. He loves decision. He knows.
What was his record again?
7-8, I believe.
7-8. Okay.
So sorry, 10-9-6. I don't know why it's 7.
10-9-6. Okay.
But the guy he's taking on, I've seen him fighting deep before. Seiya Ameyama is a knockout guy. He is
on a nice streak too.
Yes, he gets knocked out or he knocks out.
Mm-hmm.
And also, look, he beat Joe Hiromoto in amateur.
Very nice. So in this case, I'll just go with the 4-2 guy to knock with Ameyama to win by knockout.
Yes, I hope so, because if he does not, Takaoka is going to make this a long 2-round, 3-minute fight, whatever the rules are, and I want these prelims to be over with so we can get to the good shit.
And hopefully it would be a new fighter for Rizin to maybe use.
So this is also the problem I have with the prelims is that Rizin clearly has there's like two separate files that they have. They have files for people who they will only use for like one show when they come to a local thing, and then they have files for guys who they want to clearly use over and over and over again. And I don't know if any of these guys are in that file to use over and over. So that's the issue I have, is that I would, if you're going to have these guys in the prelims, and if they put on a fantastic performance fight, whatever, bring them back. Don't make it feel like it's a one-off thing.
Mhm.
Kickboxing or MMA, because especially for flyweights. Listen, Why not? You know what you could have done? Have this be a depending on how many people they have, the winner of this match gets to get a spot in the flyweight tournament. I think that would have been a good incentive. I'm assuming that's not an incentive for this fight, but that would have been great. Two guys that are on the regionals and they get an opportunity to get into the actual tournaments.
Yeah, that would be a nice one, but I mean, it would add some variety. It'd be an underdog because it just feels like it's the same people that we've seen before if that flyweight tournament comes through.
And people who we don't want in the tournament as well. So
in a few cases, yeah.
Keep that in mind. So we're gonna go on to the main card, and I'm just gonna look up how they haven't released the card yet. So I'm just going by Wikipedia, which I think is pretty much accurate. Okay. So Machi taking on Park Seo-young. Oh, sorry. Kobe says it would have to be a tournament for 32 for those guys to be in. No, not necessarily. You could have it 8, and then
I would say they go with 16 because flyweight is pretty deep.
I think you could do 8. I think you could have strong 8. I know people want Kyoji to be in it. I don't want Kyoji to be in it. I don't like it when the champion is in it because is
Kyoji even still with RIZIN because of that? Because of that one tweet, or is that just being sarcastic when it was in the Discord?
What did he say? Oh, I thought what did he say?
Something about Kyoji not being in RIZIN anymore, if I remember correctly. Maybe I read it wrong.
Who said that?
No, it was something on Twitter, so it's probably bullshit. But
was it Mokayev who said something? Because I know he was talking about it.
It might have been.
Oh, that he's going to UFC? No,
knowing how RIZIN is, that wouldn't shock me.
He's not the booker. This guy can't even get himself booked in UFC. So how would he know who's getting booked where or whatever? I wouldn't take any. I'll take that with a grain of salt.
Fair enough.
Oh, okay. Mokayev said Horiguchi isn't rising more. They try to set up the fight. I have not heard that at all. I'll ask people who know more than me. That hopefully know more than Mokayev. I don't know where Mokayev is getting his information. That's okay. Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I have not heard anything different.
Okay. But yeah, that's what I was referring to.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Mokayev seems to say a lot of things. So take I don't know. I wouldn't believe it. Machi taking on Seo-young Park from Road FC and a strawweight fight. By the way, WMMAC now. Thank you for joining. You are sponsoring Park. So congratulations on sponsoring her. Congratulations on that. Check out his videos, by the way, on his YouTube on disseminating this fight and all the other women's fights that go on in the world of MMA. Machi versus Seo-young Park. It's been a while since we had Machi.
Primarily a grappler, as I recall.
Yep. And Park, she just had a weird road FC fights where, okay, WMMA scene, you're gonna have to give me the details. Her opponent missed weight. Okay, the fight was supposed to be at a certain weight, and she took the fight on short notice, but her opponent missed the weight. Her opponent won, and then I think it was deemed a no contest. I think that's how it went.
Like they do in RIZIN, if you miss weight.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. WMAC now knows the whole thing. So whatever I said, if it's incorrect, please let me know. If it's correct, let me know. So hopefully, I wonder if they're bringing in because they're looking at people to bring in for their the RIZIN Korea show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and maybe rebuild 108 a little bit.
Yeah, but also let's be honest. I think they're bringing her in to be cannon fodder for.
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
but Machi's a good choice to start a rebuild.
Oh yeah, oh yes, but like strawweight is strawweight and atom weight are. I feel like they're dead at this point. I think they're all these oh, Seo-young found that funny oh yes, oh yeah.
I vaguely remember it. I've heard of it.
So yeah, actually, I mean, Park is mostly an atomweight fighter, while Machi is she could do atomweights, but
she's strong
strawweight.
So she's she's naturally bigger. Got it.
Yes, that's going to be a big thing. I mean, Park, I think, is younger than her, though. 21 versus... Oh, they're the same age. Oh, my bad. I take that back. I didn't know they're the same age. My God. Okay. I feel like Machi's been fighting for so long that I thought she was much older. Okay.
I believe she's been fighting for since she was really young, right?
Yeah.
So it feels like someone's like Kana. It felt like she was fighting forever, but she was still so young.
What are your thoughts about this fight? How do you think this fight will go?
I'm thinking Machi goes to the ground and either grinds a decision or submits her.
I think
too big. Her grappling is very good. So just those two factors, provided she doesn't get caught, I do think she's going to win.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be I don't think this is going to be no one's going to get knocked out in this fight. I think probably what you said, Machi's going to probably take her down, submit her. I probably shouldn't. I shouldn't discount Park, but I'm going to. I think it's going to be Machi first round finish.
Like arm lock.
Yeah, let's go with arm lock or maybe even rear naked. I'll say. Do you think she'll be able? How do you think she'll finish Park? Excuse me.
Arm lock.
Okay. What are your thoughts on Park being one of Karen's best scouts to date? Was that the Shuto?
Maybe they should bring Karen in at some point.
Oh wow, yeah. Yeah. Shuto colors. Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, is that the Megumi Fujii runs or whatever?
Is that still around?
I don't know. Okay. But isn't there speaking of which, you know what fight should have been on this and it's on a deep show instead? Freaking Hamasaki versus Moeri Suda.
Hey, listen, Deep's got to have some fights.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying that's a RIZIN caliber fight.
Oh, it is. No, that Deep Jones show coming up looks really good. Really good. So that main event is solid. Like the old guard versus the new guard.
I can't believe Give me one sec. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, I can't believe all these people that Park already fought. She fought Karen Koga, Kurobe. My God. Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah, but I think it's probably unanimous that that Machi will probably run through Park. Next fights. Actually, we already have these on two separate screens. I'm gonna do that right now, folks. Oops. Need to do that. I think it's Kyoei Hagiwara versus Toby Misech. Yeah, I want to get that up. Okay. Hagiwara versus Toby Misech. Two strikers, two guys who have no submissions to their record. What do you think? So clearly this fight will be a grappler's delight, as Jay Wolf loves to say, right?
For sure.
Isn't that how it goes whenever whoops, why did I look up Kyoei Horiguchi? Is that true? Whenever there's two strikers, they tend to grapple.
It's either really bad
stare at each other. Yeah.
It's either really bad kickboxing or really bad grappling.
Yeah, so what an interesting choice to get by the way, we have an interview with Toby Misech on the YouTube channel. Please watch it. It's a very good interview. This guy was trained by BJ Penn in better times. And yeah, I mean, listen, this is going to be a knockout. This is going to be a knockout. I think this will be a knockout first round. Probably Hagiwara. But I like the fact that both these guys are on losses. I like the fact that they both probably have no intention to go to the ground, which is great.
No. Hagiwara needs a win badly.
She likes the ramen. Yep. How do you feel about Machi not attempting to make atom weight? Well, She should try. She should try. Wise will die. Okay, so here's the WMA scene. Rhodes champ dropped out. Park stepped in showed notice. It became an interim Atom title, but a strawweight. Park's opponent pulled the weight after thinking the fight was off. Park got subbed in a second, but fight was ruled a no contest due to arraignments. Rise like we saw that fight. That's why they chose Parker's typically easy win against a Korean fight. Okay, that's the fight summed up. I wish you'd been early because we would have talked about it so much. WMA scene, but going back to Hagiwara Misach, who do you think is going to win this?
I'm going with Hagiwara all the way.
Hagiwara really hasn't had his chin tested really in his rising career.
No, he really hasn't, and I mean he's got good stand up. It's just the rest of his game is pretty damn bad.
Do you think the Hagiwara experiment has failed? Do you think because I was saying that I think he should go somewhere else for a while, like a deep or something.
Yeah, I think it has, but I mean, he's a name, so that's why they continue to use him. But he's like Mikura Sakura at this point. He's a special attraction. You got to match him as such.
And by the way, he's on the show because Kagawa, Tokushima, Shikoku, it's really close to each other. WMC says, no reason for Machi to make Adam. She's made before. I don't understand her popularity. She's just a wrestler. It's because she's hot. That's why. She's hot.
Things just don't make sense. You just go with it.
And also, I think she kind of talks. I think she talks kind of, I guess, gritty or tough, or she's not a shit talker, but she also. I believe she kind of like she's not the typical cute, kawaii, like
Hawaii,
Kana, like the Kana would do and all that, or Ayaka, who really she's very boastful. I believe
very blunt.
Yes. I think that's a good word. Yeah, blunt. Do you think we'll get BKFC and Ryzen update during Ryzen 50, or the deal will not go anywhere? I think they're done. We haven't heard anything. If by now they're not mentioning it, Ryzen hasn't mentioned anything on their shows. BKFC's not mentioned anything. I'm not so sure what the whole thing with the agreement was, or even like how long it was. But I don't know. I think
neither of them fit.
No, I think there's interesting stuff you could do. Like we could say Hagiwara should go to BKFC. I know that's what people said. Or people would say Jutaro Ushiku for some reason should go to BKFC for some reason. I don't know. But it at least would get the guys experience in a different field, but also internationally as well. I think probably because BKFC has no interest in Japan. They're going to be doing this $50 million Grand Prix or whatever the fuck it is. So that's where they're putting all their money into it. So I think they were trying to do something like BKFC Japan.
Mm-hmm. And it just didn't work out for whatever reason.
Yeah. So, but listen, Ryzen will work with anybody. So, it don't matter if you're what type of coach you are. But sorry, Kyoya Hagiwara, I think first round knockouts of Misech.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
By the way, as well, Misech, not one of the guys that was part of that Hawaiian signed thing. Remember that?
I do. It was so long. I think the only other person was Dustin Kimura. He never fought. So
Dustin Kimura was signed. There was some woman who was signed as well. Zach Zane was the only one who got 2 fights out of that.
Don't know what the deal was with that then. Probably got thwarted. Wasn't it Bellator that took that spot? I
have no idea. I think those contracts said, hey, we will sign you and try to use you for a fight. It was nothing like, oh, we will, like, there was nothing like set in stone or whatever. I think.
Got it.
Let's see. You have to be a mark to bleed in the 20. Why? BKFC, I've heard nothing bad about BKFC and their payouts. People have said that their payouts are good. They're attracting talent, man. Gomede, I know. Listen, they get names like Alvarez and Perry and all that stuff. So and they're making good money. So they must be doing something. What they're doing, I don't know what they're doing.
Like profitable?
Yeah. Oh, listen, they're selling out. They're legit selling out shows now. Yeah, they're legit selling out shows. But what was I going to say? Oh yes. I know we talked about women's strawweight before. We got to talk about The return of men's strawweights. My God, I can't remember the last men's strawweight fights.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Kobe Day, you probably know. What was the last men's strawweight fight? Was it what like Tsunabe versus
Ochi?
Was it? No, I don't think he fought Ochi in RIZIN, but I think it was Maeda.
Yeah, he did.
Maeda? Sorry?
Yeah, he did. He fought him in, I want to say it was 2018, 2019.
I thought it was Tsunabe versus Maeda. Wasn't it like
it was both.
Okay.
Tsunabe fought Maeda in one of the Okinawa shows.
That might be
and
the one.
Then
yeah. I'm trying because it's been a while. We have not seen a male strawweight fight in a long ass time. And it's funny, Ochi was saying after he won his fight last year, which I was at by the way, he wanted to fight in RIZIN. That was his goal for 2025. That was his New Year's Eve resolution or whatever. So he got it, and he's taking on N.O.V. Actually, sorry, I didn't get the thing up, guys. Sorry about that. Haruo Ochi taking on Nobuyushi Nakasukasa. I'll call him N.O.V. just to be simple. But N.O.V's been in RIZIN before. Long time ago.
He lost to Soya Takaki, and then I think he won one, if I remember.
Yes,
right.
he beat Tsunabe. Was that it? Okay, that was like catchweight, whatever. But yeah, he was undersized against Soya, who also somehow disappeared as well. So, but he is a grappler. He is a really cool guy to watch. I think he's a fun fighter to watch. And then Haruo Ochi, man, this guy's been fighting. He's 41. My God, I can't believe that. He's 41. But maybe the best. I don't know if he's the best. Is he fair to say that he's the best men's strawweight fighter of all time?
He probably is.
Or at least top 5, top 3.
It's not exactly the deepest division of all time, no pun intended.
No. My 85 was at flyweights, so that doesn't count. So that might have been the last one. Okay, regardless, it's been a long time, so we have it. So I mean,
could it be the start of a creation of a RIZIN flyweight division or strawweight division?
I don't think so. By the way, also not to mention, if you see this here, they're supposed to fight in Deep, and that was actually the show I was at, and it got canceled. I think N.O.V got injured or something. But yeah, they're running it back in RIZIN. 38 as well. Okay, interesting. So we got 2 old guys. Yeah, what do you think of this fight, Mike? I'm kind of like low-key excited for it.
I'm looking forward to it because they're both good fighters and they're both fun to watch. I would think Ochi would submit him, but N.O.V can punch, so anything can happen.
Yeah, but who do you think is a better grappler, though? I think that's the question. I think Ochi.
I would say Ochi.
Ochi has great stamina, great cardio, and he's a pressure guy. If he ain't gonna finish you, he's gonna make sure that it's a bad 3 rounds for you.
He's like Ogi Kubo in that sense.
Yeah, but I think Ochi is much more. I think can
more pressure.
More pressure, and actually hunting for a finish.
Yeah. I mean, both are pressure fighters, but it's a different type of pressure.
Yeah. Was this one? Okay, no, I was still flyweight. Okay, my God. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, who do you think is going to take this one?
I'm going to go with Ochi by decision.
I'm going to say Ochi, too. I think Ochi still has a lot left in the tank. He doesn't seem to be he doesn't seem to be slowing down, which is funny because usually I think they say that at the lower weights that's when you tend to lose most of your athletic prime as you get older. That's what supposedly we see that with a lot of bantamweights, featherweights, lightweights, flyweights as well. So
in boxing too, for that matter.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to go with Ochi. I think he's going to decision. I think he's going to decision N.O.V. But I think this should be a fun fight. I think this should be a fun.
I hope so.
Listen, they were supposed to be on Deep. they're fighting on a bigger show now. So hopefully, they realize, oh, better get that work in. Get that work.
You got to bring it.
Yeah. So remember Ochi Brooks Kobe Day? Remember?
Yeah, there was a no contest.
Headbutt?
There was a no contest.
Or was it a headbutt or was it eye poke?
Something. It was something like that. RIZIN 12, I want to say it was.
Yeah.
And then the rematch.
Then they fought on the non-canon prelims, I like to call them.
Mm-hmm.
So this next one is going to be interesting. Full Swing taking on Koki Playboy Akata. First off, I got to ask, did you see the press conference with Playboy?
I did. Was he, I think he was, it looked like a cross between a geisha and something from the Red Ribbon Army and Dragon Ball.
So he apparently was saying during the press conference, I have to act like this because you're not going to sell our fights because you don't talk shit. I talk shit. You don't. So I have to be this wacky. It's hilarious stuff. And yeah, he was like telling him to shut up. He was telling Full Swing to like shut up and all that. But like, for a guy, Full Swing is just like, I've met Full Swing and all that. He's like just a low key, just a calm guy. He's a very, very calm guy. You would not think so, but like he very much is. I'm sure Zach also in the Discord can confirm that. So we got two guys we got one guy who's a knockout artist, and we got one guy who's also got strong hands, but second fights in MMA. He was a kickboxer before that. So
he was.
But of course, different rules in MMA. How do you think this fight will go, Mike? Both were on losing streaks, by the way.
I'm gonna go with Okada by knockout. Okada.
Thank you, Isha. Thank you. I'm sorry about
going on.
I fucked up the time. I'm so sorry that you waited almost a half a day. I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I'm just going to go with Okada, just younger, better striker, and Full Swing's chin is pretty much gone, and he gets hit too much.
Yeah. The interesting thing is is this that bantamweight or is this featherweight?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay, it's that bantamweight. Okay. Because the last fight that Playboy had was that featherweight, so he's going down for this fight. Interesting.
Against Gomio.
Yes.
In a fight he arguably won.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's I guess 1-0 unofficially, but he looked great against Gomio in his first pro fight. So I will remember that. Listen, he got tagged a few times, but he did not. He weathered the storm, and I could go on a rant about Gomio as an MMA fighter, but I think he beat Gomio in my opinion as well.
It could have went either way, honestly, but it wasn't a good fight.
Listen, but Full Swing still got them hands, boy. He got those hands. If he connects, he can still knock you out. By the way, I stand incorrect. He's not on a losing streak. He lost his last fight, but he won the one before that, which, oh my God, I don't even remember that fight. I think I have to go with what you say. No way Full Swing shoots for a takedown. He is as good as Gomio. I don't. I have some thoughts on Gomio that I don't want to get into at this point. Maybe someday down the road. But I think Playboy knocks him out. What do you think?
Yeah.
First, second, third. I think the second round.
I think second round he'll wear him out a bit because he's got decent striking. I mean, he wasn't K1 for a reason. You can argue how much that's valid at this point, but
yeah,
he's got kickboxing experience, and Full Swing's stand-up is terrible. It's
good.
technique.
Listen, but if it lands, it lands, man.
Mm-hmm.
It lands.
Yeah. Oh, I know. But it's just he's not good.
But also, Full Swing has a thing where the more he throws, the more he gets tired. So that's why I think second round. He gets more brazen with those overhand rights that he spams so much.
Absolutely.
Is the team that Playboy's with? Okay, he's no longer with K1 Gym, obviously. I guess is it the Team Black Rose? Is that what they call themselves now? Kind of like Ren.
Maybe I know he trained or trains with Ren. Obviously not now because Ren's hurt, but
Yeah, that would be the perfect YouTube prelim fight. Guess what? Kobe? I think we're getting 4 kickboxing fights and 1 deep MMA rules match as our YouTube prelims and nothing else.
And then Andrew. And then if I remember correctly, they've shown prelims and then they've shown like maybe 1 to 3 fights on the main card as well. So
they sometimes do that. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. I feel like.
I would say this one and maybe the strawweight one would be the first 2 fights in my opinion.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I always tune into YouTube first, then migrate over to RIZIN TV. That's what I always do. So next. We'll be going on to making both their returns. Oh my God, why is it not working? Okay, both the returns are RIZIN. Spike Kagawa versus Takeji Yokoyama. And I'm gonna say this right off the bat, and I think that Takeji Yokoyama is one of the most boring fighters in Japan right now. Who fights regularly. It's not, you can decision all of your wins and make them exciting fights. He does not do that.
Just lays on people?
Lays and holds people like his life depends on it. And it's so funny, other than the one fight, look at it against Shunta Nomura, of all people. Twice, by the way. Twice. He gets finished whenever he loses, apparently. So interesting thing there. And now taking on Spike Carlisle, who made that comeback win against Kyung-Po Kim last year. So what do you think about this fight, Mike?
I'm going to go with Spike Carlisle by either knockout or submission because he's a good enough wrestler to where he can stop Izumi's the takedowns from a Greco-Roman wrestler.
He was getting taken down pretty easily by Kim, from what I remember, and that was
but Kim is a much better fighter than Izumi.
Yeah. Oh, J-Lo was a new camera. Beautiful. Questionable matchmaking here. Komede says Izumi is boring as hell. Why ship and Spike for this? Main Japanese will beat Izumi because they clearly have plans for Spike, and I think with a win here, I think because they're the bereft of people, he might just get the title shot against. They said that the winner of the Gustavo Nomura match would get the next shot. So this is maybe just a way to heat up Spike. Maybe fight the loser winner of that or whatever, or however they do it. I do think it's very odd matchmaking. It's kind of like, huh? So it was a fight that I was like not expecting. You have Luiz Gustavo there. Like, imagine if you did a Luiz Gustavo versus Spike Carlisle like a number 1 contender. I think that would have been a great fucking match.
Yeah, it would.
And then Nomura can. Well, also, okay, so that's the problem. Nomura's already faced Izumi twice. He's beaten him both times. I don't know if RIZIN wants to put that on their thing, So
yeah,
I guess I don't know. I guess maybe that's how it worked out by happenstance. Yeah, I think Spike is going to maul him. I think he's going to maul him for 3 rounds. I don't know if he's going to finish him, but I think he's going to maul him for 3 rounds. I think Izumi. He must know people in deep or have naked pictures of Sayeki because I don't know how he keeps getting booked for that promotion, honestly.
I have no clue.
But yes. Oh my God, I can't believe this one's next. Okay. So next fight we're gonna talk about. Big boys. Have we decided what his name is, by the way? I seen Ed Polo King.
And then King Ed Polo.
King. Yeah, I am yeah.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I'm gonna go by
I'm gonna just call him King Ed Polo.
King Ed Polo. I will do the same thing as well. King Ed Polo. Anyway, taking on Ryo Sakai, who it's been a while since he's been a RIZIN. My God, like
over 5 years.
They're bringing back people who they haven't used in like a million years for whatever reason.
Yeah, he fought oh my God, Kosuke Jitsukata in kickboxing.
I was like, I think he had a kickbox. Yeah. Never had any other.
On the Hamamatsu show of all places.
Yeah, and he's always fighting in deep. Is he already fought? Oh, his main promotion is deep, and yeah, he knocks out. He gets knocked out, or he knocks out people. There's really nothing pretty about it. And then King Ed Polo King. Maybe he's getting maybe because of all the problems that Akizawa caused, and we're looking up heavyweights, and they're like, oh, okay, this guy beat up Akizawa at one point. Let's give Sakai a call. Maybe that's why they're like, let's give the guy a payday for taking care of business years ago. Anyway, Ed Polo King, Edot Polo, whatever the fuck. One win. One pro win in RIZIN at the Decade Show. What do you think? How do you think this fight will go? Clearly, this will go all 3 rounds, and we will be
bored.
Yeah, we're gonna our heads will explode like in scanners. Once it hits third round, final round when they announce when Langhorns. No, but how do you think this fight will go, Mike?
I'm gonna go with that Apollo King by knockout in the first. Too long and lanky.
I think so too. Ryo Sakai is faster record.
Yeah, because Ryo Sakai isn't taking many people down.
Yeah, this fight will hopefully be first round, first minute. King Polo, King Ed, whatever just makes quick business, and then maybe gets that heavyweight Grand Prix. If Karate Combat screws him up, I'm going to be so impressed. Are you talking? Who are you talking about? Isha? You talking
Polo
about
King, maybe.
They haven't really used anybody in RIZIN, as far as I know. Yeah, I don't think any fighter who's fought in RIZIN has ever fought in Karate Combat. Plus, also, if Karate Combat, they would have him for a one-off probably as well. So you don't have to worry about that. It's not going to be an exclusive thing. Okay, this fight I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on, Mike. Yuki Ito, Tony Laramie. Apparently, it's not at flyweight though. They're apparently doing that catchweight for whatever reason. I don't know why, but
Laramie maybe having weight issues.
Maybe. Remember, he made weight for his last fight, but he was like really sick. But
so maybe that's why. But this is an awesome fight. Ito's just well-rounded, but primarily a striker, and then Laramie's also well-rounded. Very aggressive as well. Whereas Ito, it seems to me he's more of a counter puncher. He'll be aggressive when he has to against Hyunj, the Korean guy he beat at the last yes. Who just won in Road FC this weekend, ironically enough.
Did you see the crazy sorry to go off topic, did you see the crazy walk the 2 fighters, the one guy who was sitting on the cage, and then did you see that stare down?
I did. That was something.
That's the greatest thing I've ever seen. First I thought the guy who took on Kentaro at Deep had the greatest walkout. Then this overcame it. This topped it. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
No, but I was gonna say it's an evenly matched fight, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure who's gonna win it because I don't envision either of them really grappling that much. I do think Laramie likes to strike, and Ito likes to strike as well. But as I said, Ito's more of a counter puncher. It's just going to depend on who imposes their will.
CST was mentioned their interest. Oh, okay, gotcha. Isha. No, I think this is a very high level flyweight fight. I think I'm just gonna pick Laramie. I think he's fought maybe higher level opponents overall. I don't want to take away from Jung Hyung Lee, but let's be honest, he's not the most high caliber of flyweight.
Also, but he's not terrible.
If you also look at the people what's it called? My God, Ito struggled with Tapnoi, the Hiroya fight, which is great. But again, that was also kind of a close one. He lost to Ursan in his RIZIN second outing. And if you just look at the people, it seems like a lot of fighters that are he has some wins over some good guys, but I don't think that he actually has more. Oh my God. Okay. I think that Laramie has fought higher caliber fighters. He's going to be used to I think he'll be able to counter anything that Ito tries to bring upon him. I really do. But I don't think he can finish him. Both four guys are finished. I think Laramie takes it. If this goes to a split decision, I would not even be surprised. But I think it's gonna go all 3 rounds for Laramie.
I agree with you. I just think Laramie's pressure is just gonna be too much.
Oh yes. Also, Laramie does this thing where he manages to kind of like step in, step out, so step in with his boxing. It's really interesting. I haven't seen that before. It's really.
He's got very good move. He's got very good movement.
Yeah. And hopefully whoever wins this gets in that flyweight Grand Prix.
Mm-hmm. Or if God forbid, Kyoji is actually out of RIZIN, God forbid, go straight to a title match.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna wait till RIZIN announces that or Kyoji.
Oh, I know. I said if.
Yeah. AZ Ray, we talked about Rodtang Takaru earlier. We think that Rodtang's gonna win. As far as buzz in Japan, I don't know. I feel like there's no buzz for the show like now. I feel like the last show had more buzz. When they first announced, I feel like there was more buzz for that show. I'm not feeling the buzz for this show, and I think also why, because it's a pay-per-view show that you have to pay for it. I think, right? I believe this is not on Amazon Prime or anything like that, or YouTube or anything. So yeah,
it's on one's website.
Yeah, so it's like, isn't it $39.99 or was that the price?
I think it's $33.
Okay. Yeah, they're pricing people out who would be interested in it, I think. So yeah, I think that's why kind of the buzz is kind of like dead around it. Why don't you think RIZIN doesn't sign more superstars like Pride did in the past? Sumo are currently more lucrative compared to MMA. I don't know that much about sumo. Mike, do you watch sumo?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
What do you
I would just say mostly because one, there's not enough money in MMA to make the transition. That's probably one. And two, it's not worth it on RIZIN's part either. Because some of the ones that they've used have just bombed, other than Sudario, have bombed.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, RIZIN has used Baruto, who kind of was like a little celebrity at the time.
Ozuna Rashi.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then
less about him.
Sudario and his brother.
Yeah. Who, if you look at out of those four, Sudario, I guess, kind of is the most successful. And I use success kind of like loosely. There's definitely a lot more. Gomez, they has a good point. Right aside, 4 sumo guys, they're disgraced like the Pride Hammer guys. Sumo was a smaller fan base than that time period. I don't know. I think that the sumo basho, I hear a lot about when the basho happens.
But it's also an older audience as well.
It's an older audience, but listen, every video I see, every reel I see of sumo stuff is like, it's packed. It's packed at Sumo Hall.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. I mean, even a couple years ago when my wife and I went to Sumo Hall, it was packed.
The other thing also is that I think you hit the nail on the head, Kobe. Two of those 4 guys were disgraced from sumo, were kicked out of sumo. The Sudarios. So I think they had nothing else. What are they going? What are the 2 fat guys in Japan going to do? Oh, we'll go into fighting. I think that's kind of how they kind of were forced to do it.
They wouldn't have done it voluntarily. I'll put it to you like that.
Before we go on, just want to give a reminder to everybody. Each Room Bars is sponsoring the podcast. And if you go to our website, eachroombar.com, you can use the code WAR at checkout for 25% off your first order. The bars have 12 grams of protein and have lion's mane, cordyceps, turkey tail, and reishi, which is all good stuff to help your body. So once again, if you go to eachroombar.com, use code WAR, 25% off your first order, and you help the podcast out by doing that. Really appreciate it. if you can do that. Thank you so much. I think Sandstorm had more laughs to give. Are you talking about the song Sandstorm?
No, he's talking about Ozuna Rashi.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, I totally
Because
forgot.
Ozuna is sand. I think Ozuna is sand and Arashi is storm. I want to say.
Okay.
Something like
gotcha.
that.
Gotcha. That is so long ago. That is old RIZIN lore. I was there for that match. Ozuna Rashi when he took on forgot his name. Forget his
Bob
name.
Sapp.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm thinking the Mongolian sumo guy. I'm thinking of
facing Shibasai.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm getting Ozuna Rashi, also a disgrace as well because he drove a car or something weird. Yeah. So sumo is not a good base for MMA. Really, it's really not. If you look at just the history of sumo guys who transitioned to MMA, they really all kind of were not good. I don't think there's going to be anything different in the future if they sign more guys. Next one. Okay, this is an interesting fight. I cannot believe this is happening. This is not what I was predicting on my bingo card for RIZIN. But we're talking Sanou Yokouchi, a.k.a. Onigiri-kun, take on Yoshiro Maeda, who did retire. I did not have a Berenstein Bears or Mandela effect. I was like, this guy definitely retired. And there is video on YouTube, which I'll not play, but Yoshiro Maeda had an actual retirement show right here. Yoshiro Maeda farewell performance. So he did retire. He did I'm not counting his grappling matches at that, but he did fucking retire. And he's rescinding his retirement for whatever reason. Anyway, one guy who has one fight, who's making his pro debut, who has had 2 amateur fights, taking on a guy who's 39, 19-3, who had fights in WEC, who fought at featherweight, bantamweight, and flyweight, who's won championships on deep and all that shit, taking on someone. Oh, and Pancreas as well. Excuse me. Whose first fight was in
Dream.
Yep, fought in Dream. First fight, pro fight, 2003. I don't even think Yokouchi was born at that time. Let me double check. No, he was not. He was not even a zygote. So, what is this match, and what is RIZIN trying to do with this match? And give me all your thoughts, Mike.
When I saw this, I was just like, "What the bleep?"
Like, if you want to talk about being taking prospects and throwing them in the fire, listen.
Yeah, I mean, even though he's 43, whatever Maeda is, that's 61 freaking pro fights compared to someone who's had 2 amateurs. Like, what the hell are you doing?
I don't know what that RIZIN contract said. I know that when he won that thing on, he's getting money for his
reenactment
training.
of the Colosseum, of the Roman Colosseum.
He's getting money for his training, and they said that he was being offered a RIZIN contract. I didn't know it was gonna be this, like this. I thought
even if Maeda is washed up, he's still an extremely experienced, respected opponent. Like, this is an astronomical leap for someone so young.
Yeah, listen. This is when people talk about throwing. I will use this as a prime example of throwing JMA prospects into the fire.
Yeah.
Ota Tokoro, no more. Ota had the Olympic experience, all that stuff. And there's other fights I can't think of at the moment because my brain
Powell, Nastula, Minotaur, Nogueira, and Pride.
Okay. Yeah. Listen, this takes the cake, man.
Oh, Michihiro Migawa, Aaron Riley.
Both Saku Jr. brothers, Saku Jr. KO Yachi. It is weird, but here's the thing. At least Saku Jr. had
quintet.
Grappling. Sorry. Yes, quintet.
Had quintet.
Yes. And supposedly was training at K1, which I still have not confirmed or denied, but supposedly he was training at the K1 gym. Who knows? Whatever. But he at least had some sort of strong base. And worked with his dad as well. Yokouchi's parents are divorced. He wants to fight because he wants his fans to get back together. I don't think either of them are fighters. So, and like you said, all that experience. Also, with all due respect to Yachi has declined significantly as well.
Yeah, but he was still a good litmus test for someone with no experience or no pro experience.
Yes.
This
is the equivalent of when you start a Dark Souls game and you take on that first boss, and you are just this underpowered little wimp, and the boss smashes you.
I can come up with a few others, but we'll go with that.
Mike, who do you think will win this fight?
Well, mind says Maeda is going to crush him in the first round by submission. But my heart just hopes that somehow Sanou wins somehow.
I want to say that I'm going to give it would be amazing if Sanou somehow won.
Yes.
But again,
not realistic. Not very realistic.
By the way, this isn't going to sound insane, but look at this. Maeda has a win over Kleber. So maybe
really?
if Maeda wins this, he could be whoever wins between Kleber and Shayad. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm just look at he has wins over legit freaking people.
Yeah.
And
Masanori Kanehara.
And even near the end of his career when he was retiring, he still had pretty good wins. He did lose to some prospects though, like Taira and Fukuda. So keep that in mind. But I don't think Sanou has a striking or any sort of significant grappling about it. Oh, by the way, also from Kagawa, by the way. So dragging him out of his hole while he's retired, make him fight. I don't know about making him fight, but yeah, I'm gonna have to say Maeda. Everything on paper just points to Maeda to win.
But maybe Yokochi can do some.
I think Maeda will submit in the first round. That's what I'm gonna say. I know he doesn't fight with his hands down like Nakamura Daisuke does. At least I hope he doesn't. Won't for this fight. Moving on, I like this next fight because we got Styles Clash. Takeji Yokoyama making his return finally, taking on Shuya Kimura, an undefeated fighter from Gladiator. Yokoyama is a grappler, a great jiu-jitsu player, and Kimura, you would think from his last name he's a jiu-jitsu guy. No, but he knocks out people in the first round in always under 10 minutes.
Against questionable opposition because it's Gladiator.
You're right, but the last opponent that he had was 5-3, which is
that's an improvement by their standards.
Yeah. So and then he fought someone who was 0-3. Okay, yeah, fine. But then his first two opponents were 0-0 and 0-0, which is, he was starting out and they were starting out as well.
Yeah, typical of a Gladiator undercard, which those shows are very long.
Oh yes. And then Takeji Yokoyama, who actually I apologize, I thought he finished all of his opponents. No, only one he hasn't finished, and then he's finished everybody else, and only has one loss against Majima. So
at the Pride event I was at, and that was Majima was able to neutralize him because Majima has good enough grappling base to at that time to negate Yokoyama.
So grappler versus striker. How do you think this fight will go, Mike?
I'm gonna go Yokoyama by submission in the first.
Oh man, I always lean towards the jiu-jitsu guy, but I'm just like, if Kimura hits him, it's over.
Yes,
it is over. I don't think Yokoyama has really any striking prowess to his name.
No, but he can pull guard. He can do a variety of things. Whereas I don't know if Shuya Kimura has the defensive wrestling or grappling to negate Yokoyama's advantage on the ground.
And by the way, these are kind of like the fights that I want. These because they clearly I think they have these guys on here because they're going to use them again in the future. That's what I like to see. If you want to have that's what bothers me about prelims is that we would never see those guys ever again or like a long time. But we're
this feels like a very consequential match.
Yes. And I like it when you take two prospects from two different organizations who would never fight otherwise. This is what I want to see out of RIZIN apart from the big fights and weird heavyweight fights. I think you convinced me. I'm going to go with Yokoyama for this. He's got he can take him down. He can grapple him. He can hold him down. But if Kimura hits him, it's going to be nights out. It could be Fight Night material. It really could be.
Yes, 100%. This is really we can criticize the last fight, Shingo's last fight as a questionable. The Maeda fight.
Oh no, I'm not critical of it. I'm just kind of like, what the fuck? I'll be critical. I'm critical more of the Spike Carlisle fight because that's kind of really you're wasting Spike Carlisle on Izumi. You could just do the Spike Carlisle versus. I don't know. Maybe they didn't realize. Maybe they were originally going to do Nomura versus Izumi, but they didn't realize that he beat him twice already. So they're like, "Oh shit, we got to fix the flyweight thing. Wait, the lightweight fights. So let's just switch up." That's why
I get it.
But maybe that's
but this fight is phenomenal, and this is exactly what, as you said, it's exactly what RIZIN should be doing.
Yes, I hope we can see more of this in the future. Speaking of Nomura, Luiz Gustavo making his return, taking on the deep lightweight champion, Shunta Nomura. So Nomura from Brave Gym, by the way. Gustavo coming off that loss against Satoshi by knockout.
Perfect shot. Just one of those perfect shots.
Yeah. So I believe Bara said the winner of this would fight Satoshi next. I believe that's what was.
I thought if Nomura won.
I thought the implication was whoever wins this.
Okay.
That's kind of a shit thing to do. Nomura, if you win, you get the title shot for Gustavo. No, you can always say that Gustavo was kind of an early stoppage, kind of.
It was.
For a title fight, at least for a title.
It was very much because he was hurt, but he was still
it was
functional.
Not a stoppage, but I think it was an early stoppage. I think that's the argument I made, is that it wasn't bad, but it was early. I'm sure
I've seen better and I've seen worse.
Yeah. Nomura has wins over, like I said, Izumi, but he's also beaten almost. He got one of his losses back, so there's that. So. What do you think about this? I think we got two mainly strikers going up against each other.
Yeah. This is a hell of a fight.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he said only if Nomura wins. That's kind of shitty. I'm sorry. That's kind of shitty. Why is one? How does one fighter get? A contender's fight is for. That's
because Gustavo's got to build himself back up. That's why.
But then if he defeats a deep champion, that's kind of building.
It's a big step. Yes.
I think that's shitty. Okay, but okay. Anyway, sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
I would say, in this case, I'm going to just go with the experience in Gustavo. He's beaten better fighters, but if he's wild like he tends to be, Nomura can catch him.
So also the thing with Nomura is that he also has the grappling because he's a Brave Gym. Gustavo doesn't really have that grappling despite being brilliant.
No, he doesn't.
But man, listen again. Gustavo has that one knockout power, like we talked about, full swing. He throws that overhand. He throws wild. Yeah, you either get knocked out or one punches. I think the reason why they're pegging Nomura to win. That's why they're saying he gets a title shot. But no, I'm going to go with Gustavo, man. I think Gustavo's fought tougher opponents. I just getting punched by him seems to just be not other featherweights in RIZIN punches. Oh, sorry, not featherweight. Lightweight punches like him. Like he is just so frenzy and it's so erratic and so visceral and violent. And like, if it doesn't knock you out, it like the Poirier fights, like Poirier's face was fucked up after that fight. So if it's not knock you out, you're Dr. Stoppage.
You pay a price.
Yes, yeah. So I'm gonna have to go. I'm going with. I think I gotta agree with you on this. Gustavo, you think he'll finish him, or do you think he'll go all 3 rounds?
I do. I think he'll finish him in late second, early third. I think he'll just wear him out with the pressure.
I'll go with that too. 3rd round as well.
Yeah, just Gustavo's. His defense isn't great and his technique isn't great, but he's so relentless and so fast that he suffocates you with pressure.
Yeah. Co-main time. Suzuki versus Dautbek.
This is an awesome fight.
Yes, it is. How do you think this fight will go, Mike?
Oh God.
Very similar winners, by the way. I 17-3 and 14-3. Very similar. I didn't realize that. Sorry, 13-4.
Incredible. Like I said, this is awesome matchmaking. I'm very surprised Chihiro. Well, I shouldn't be surprised with Chihiro because he fights everyone. But to take on Dautbek after losing a close decision to Kleber, it takes a lot of courage. So hats off to him. First off, I think he's the better striker. He's faster than Dautbek, who I think is who's a better technician, but I also think Dautbek is quite slow. Dautbek's the better grappler, but I don't think his wrestling is good enough to where he can hold Chihiro, or grappling is good enough to where he can hold Chihiro for 15 minutes. And Yaman was beating him on the feet, I think, or at least hurting him enough to where Karshyga Dautbek had to take Yaman to the ground. I'm going to go with Chihiro by knockout.
Wow. Interesting. Okay. He's been on a long ass streak, Dautbek. He hasn't been finishing.
Yeah.
I just saw it. He has not been finished since 2019.
But the thing about Chihiro is he might be the hardest puncher at featherweight. Like, that guy can knock out a freaking bull. That's how strong he is.
Yeah, but the question is, if the striking is getting bad for Dautbek, is he just going to rely on? Will he go to grappling again like he did the?
They'll try, absolutely. I do think that Chihiro's improved so much in that aspect. I don't think, as I said, I don't think Dautbek will be able to negate Chihiro's striking for 15 minutes.
So Komide has an interesting thing. Based on Suzuki's grappling with Koike, I think he's a better grappler than Dautbek. Listen, Suzuki was defending against Koike, which is, that's a win into itself. Dautbek's grappling was nothing against Yaman, was nothing. That's stuff you learn on first day wrestling class and all that stuff. It was nothing fancy about those takedowns he did.
Right. I mean, I'm just saying that he's going to try and lay on Suzuki if that's what it comes down to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Suzuki, the one time he showed grappling in any MMA match in RIZIN was against Hagiwara.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Yeah, that doesn't count. Man, this is tough. I've been on the Dautbek train for a long time and was wondering why he never brought this guy back and all that stuff. The other thing though, Suzuki does get hit though. He does get hit.
But he's got an iron chin.
That's true. I'm gonna have to go with Dautbek, man. I think he's just got more. Stuff, and I think the grappling will be there in case he can't. In case of the striking, same thing happened. Same with the Yama fight. The striking gets too overwhelming for him, and it may not be great grappling, but it just might be enough to beat Suzuki.
It's a pick'em fight.
No, this is like other than the title fight at
Tokyo Dome.
Tokyo Dome, yeah. This is like the second highest level featherweight fights you can make.
Yeah, it is.
I think you said he's gonna fit. You think he'll finish?
I think he'll finish Dautbek, yes.
I don't think he'll. I think in my case, I'm gonna say decision win. I think I can't see him finishing Chihiro at all. Highly unlikely. Even if he's winning the striking and the grappling, Suzuki's just a hard guy to finish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it shows you how good Chihiro's and how much Chihiro's improved. Compared to when he was knocked out by Shoji.
Oh yeah, and also quick turnarounds. Quickish turnaround for both of them as well. Both of them were
New Year's Eve. It ain't that long.
Yeah, and they both went through bomb. Yeah, they both took bombs in their fights as well. Main event time, folks. Inoue defending title against Yuki Motoya. Second time these two are facing each other, with Inoue beating Motoya by submission the first time. So
New Year's Eve 2020, I think it was.
Was it that? I thought it was for the Didn't they? Were they in the and won the Bantamweight tournament? I thought.
No, I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
I thought they were.
Because Yuki was beaten by.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Oh, that was the last one before the. No, that was during the pandemic. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, there was RIZIN 20 or 21, one of the two at the Pia Arena.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, what do you think? I mean, how do you think this? I don't. Do you think Motoya has a better chance to win?
I do.
This one.
I do think Motoya's striking has improved a ton. Inoue's, I will say, Inoue's striking also looked on point against Solcho Kim.
Oh, look great against Social Kim.
What's that?
Yeah. Oh, you look great against Social Kim, like the way he finished it.
Yes. So harder to say. I do think Inoue will have a psychological advantage because he dominated. But Yuki Motoya is a veteran. He knows what he's doing. So I don't envision that being a huge issue on Yuki's part. But Inoue will have the confidence for sure. I'm just going to go with Inoue again. I just think he's better in all aspects, but that's just me.
I know that Yuki has looked good in his latest fights. And listen, he beat Akimoto. Listen, let's be honest. RIZIN set him up to be beaten. Like, that's how it was supposed to go. But
but Akimoto was 18 and hadn't been tested really against a grappler of that caliber. So yeah, not exactly the best calculation on their end.
But I think Naoki Inoue has looked so good in his recent fights, especially the striking. He was always great grappling, but his striking was always kind of off.
And his gas tank as well.
Yeah. I don't know if he's so well, let's see how far this fight goes.
Yeah. Motoya might try to drown him.
I was gonna say that Inoue might try to drown him. I think Inoue is still a superior grappler in this.
Right. I'm talking about in terms of stamina.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I just, unless I've missed something and I'm totally off the boat with this, I just see Inoue running through Motoya once again. I really do. I think Inoue is a better striker, better grappler. Like you said, he's already beaten him as well. And he beat him pretty handily. Now, I mean, I don't think he'll beat him as handily, but I think it's going to be all Inoue's fights. I don't see. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was just going to say it's like I said. If Inoue is a better fighter, but does he have the better stamina?
Yeah, I don't think the stamina will be that much of a factor just because of how good Inoue is. If Inoue can grapple him and just take his back or whatever for at least a round, and then he wins that round. So, and he can pace himself when he needs to. He'll fight smart in this fight. Inoue always seems to fight smart, but I still think he's gonna run through Motoya.
I still think Naoki wins by submission in the second, but I think it'll be more competitive than the first fight.
I think it won't. I think it'll go to decision. I think I think Motoya will come more prepared, or will come. I shouldn't say that he wasn't prepared for the first fight, but he'll come more prepared for what Inoue's going to deliver. But it'll be not enough to be finished, but it'll still be enough for Inoue to get the win. I think.
I gotcha.
I think Inoue will use his grappling, and he'll use his superb striking. That's one thing. Motoya tried being a striker, and it failed for him. So, he's not going to win that way, and I don't see how he can use how his grappling is, and his grappling is not better than Inoue's. So I think Inoue has all the tools for a win. Minus like some freak injury or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. It's just it's a good fight. I mean, the Motoya deserves his title shot.
But that RIZIN was like when he won, they're like, fuck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they were fast tracking Akimoto, but clearly Akimoto wasn't ready.
Yes, yeah. Maybe next
There's
year.
good and bad with Japanese matchmaking in that aspect.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, look at some fights we covered. We were like, oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mike,
good and bad, man.
What 3 fights are you looking forward to the most?
I'm looking forward to Chihiro Dautbek. Gustavo Nomura, and then I'm gonna go Ito Laramie.
Oh, good choices. Good choices. So the ones I'm looking forward to the most are Yokoyama versus Kimura. I have to see. It's the equivalent of like a lower weight, what do you call it, freak show fight, but Maeda versus Yokouchi. I want to see how, like, I'm just like, everything, the fight should go one way, but if
you hope it goes another.
Yeah. And then I'm going to say Suzuki Dautbek. I didn't want to pick the same. I'm also looking forward to Ito Laramie, but I didn't want to pick the same ones as you.
I gotcha. Yeah, and I would have my 4th would be Yokoyama.
Yeah,
because I'm a fan of him. He's a damn good grappler.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the fights for RIZIN 50. As far as we know, it will be on RIZIN.TV.
Which they haven't announced yet, so they like to wait to the last minute. But
I wish they wouldn't do that. But
I know.
But let's assume that it's going to be there. Hopefully. Mike, where can the fine folks reach you?
Don't do social media, but I'm Mike S. Yeah, I know, creative. On the Discord, and then msold7today.com if you have complaints, critiques, blah blah blah. That's pretty much it.
Sorry, here it is. Discord. Yes, please join the Discord. RIZIN FF. We talk all MMA and pro wrestling and other topics as well. So please join us, and we'll also be talking about the shows live as they're going. Whoever the sickos who are going to be staying up that night. I don't know if I'll be staying up to watch it live. Will you be up live?
I will try and go as long as I can.
It's going to be tough, man, but I'm going to see about weathering the storm. Oh, by the way, sorry, forgot to do this as well. Poster check. I knew we were forgetting something. I didn't write it down in the initial sheet, but here it is. Poster check.
Yeah, it's not
very
bad.
deep. It's very deep, like
it does look. It is a deep poster because if I remember right.
Throw everybody on the. It's like Deep Jewel's colors, but deep, like, imagery. Like, just throw everybody on the honestly, guard on the poster.
I think this is already wasn't this already used, this design, for a deep show?
Oh, probably, yeah. Because it's Kagawa. They're not hiring they're not putting out the best for their Kagawa show. Anyway.
No, they did, and clearly they didn't need it.
Yeah. Before everybody goes as well, just also want to give another shout out to the podcast sponsor. If I can find it here. There we are. eatroombar.com. Please use the code WAR at checkout for 25% off your first order. If you order something from there and use the code, you'll be supporting the podcast, and my kids and my cat will not starve. Just kidding. I don't have either of those. So, but nonetheless, it does support the podcast and lets people know that, we have fans who listen who buy shits. So please do that. Follow. Well, I'm gonna get through all the things. Follow J. Christian Gary's Focus Fights, Linktree.Focus Fights, in his Twitter, X, whatever is at J. Christian Gary. Follow J Wolf on X at JWolf1. Also, please please like and subscribe as well. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and just mute the subscriptions if you want, and also like the video as well. That helps with algorithm stuff as well. So please go ahead and do that. Twitter, we are RIZIN Pod. Please subscribe or follow or join, whatever it is, for that as well. Thank you everybody who tuned in. We're out of time. Review show hopefully be happening. Hopefully you all can tune in when that happens. Appreciate the support, everybody. Take care and have a good night.